part-time or not part-time? Hi, Nathan. Oh, this came to me, I guess. Hope you're doing great. Not sure if you answer questions here, but I figured I would give it a shot. Oh yeah, this was, somebody just emailed this to me and I said, okay, let's answer on the show. So I forwarded it to ADOT.
Cool.
I am not a typical student, worked in retail for 10 years, and then went back to school for my undergrad and MBA full time. Okay. I have always joked I would be a lawyer in another life, but never put any real thought behind it because I didn't think it was attainable, but here we are. I would have to get my JD in a part-time program, and I am currently working as a legal administrator. I'm looking at Loyola Chicago and DePaul as they are both close to my home and work in my schedule. First question is, do people look down on part-time programs, as in getting a job after graduation? Second question, I know you said to wait until the next cycle if you are past the August cutoff LSAT, but if I am most likely going to have to pay for it regardless, does it matter? Am I crazy to try to go to law school at 34? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks, Ashley. There's a few different questions there, Ben. You want to tackle one or more of them?
Yeah, so I was thinking about the first one. Do people look down on part-time programs as in getting a job after graduation? I don't know, but my reaction is, if you have to do part-time, don't worry about that. I think so much more matters on how well you do in school and whether you follow the advice of, what was her name? Rachel Gezershay, and just start networking. Get out there. If you do that and you're in the nighttime part-time program and people generally look down on that, you're going to overcome whatever negative effect that bears on your process. So I don't know. I don't think it's a factor to consider.
I think it varies wildly school by school too, right? I mean, there might be some schools, I mean, there certainly are some schools where the part-time program is more prestigious than the day program, or at least they have harder, like higher LSAT and GPA numbers. I can't imagine it being bad to go to the part-time program at one of those schools where the credentials of the students are actually higher.
Yeah.
At other schools, I mean, it's possible that there are some schools where the part-time program is looked down upon, but that's going to vary community by community. And you need to meet people, you need to meet alums of the program you're thinking about going to. Like, talk to the school, tell them, hi, I want to do XYZ type of legal work. I want to talk to one of your alums from this program that I'm thinking about going to. I want to talk to one of your alums who does this work. And if they can connect you to those people, then obviously people don't look down on those part-time programs. If they can't connect you to those people, then maybe that school can't help you reach your goals.
Yeah.
It's kind of blanket advice, no matter what program you're thinking of, whether it's full-time or part-time.
Yeah. And just to clarify, that book by Rachel Gezershay is the Law Career Handbook or something like that. Playbook, maybe.
Yeah, it's got like templates for how to reach out to people, scripts for calling random cold calls for people or cold emails. It's definitely worth, the $15 or whatever.
Yeah, 15 or $20. Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
The second question, I know you said to wait until the next cycle if you are past the August cutoff LSAT, but if I am most likely going to have to pay for it regardless, does it matter? Why are you assuming that you're going to have to pay for it regardless? You just need to work longer on your LSAT. You take that extra time to push up your LSAT score, it is gold. It is literally gold. It's money.
Not every part-time program offers scholarships, I think, but it's all on the 509 reports. And many part-time programs do offer full rides or even full rides plus. So why... I don't understand this assumption that you have to pay. If you're assuming you have to pay, I would think you probably just shouldn't go. The tagline of the show is "Don't pay for law school." I mean, it's pretty simple.
If you have to pay part-time, but you can get a scholarship full-time, then go full-time. It's probably worth it.
Yeah, totally. How much money do you make at your job? I mean, free tuition to law school is very likely more than you make, or, you know, because you could flip it, right? You could like go full time on a scholarship and then 10 bar instead of working full time and paying tuition to go to a part-time program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People do, I think, need to be a little more flexible with their ideas. I was yelling last night, Ben, at the class, you know, because I get it a lot where people are like, they just insist that they have no geographic flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, what do you do when your career office at UC Hastings tells you as a 1L that there's no way you're going to get a job in the Bay Area when you graduate and that you need to start applying to law firms in Fresno? Like, think it through, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the reality is, if you're trying to build a legal career, you might have to move to get the job you want.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is obviously a Chicago resident, and Chicago's a big place and there's lots of jobs in Chicago, but I don't know that Loyola Chicago or DePaul are going to guarantee you, you know, lucrative legal work in Chicago. So Ashley's being like super stuck on law school in Chicago, but
Mm-hmm.
she might find out 3 or 4 years from now that if she actually wants a job practicing, she's going to end up moving to not Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's, it doesn't have to work out that way. Certainly some people do go to law school in Chicago and work in Chicago. I just think people need to, if you're serious about law, you probably need to be willing to make some sacrifices, or you need to be willing to put your career first. How about that?
Yep. Or think outside the box. I mean, there's so many, basically what you're trying to do is solve a problem. And there are so many solutions
Right.
to whatever problem it is. You're trying to make money, you're trying to find fulfillment in your career, um, or you feel stuck in Chicago because of some family situation. Start thinking about it. Like, who needs what and where? Do you need to come back and visit? Like, do you really need to be there? Do your kids have to stay in the same school district? There are so many assumptions we just all walk
The
around with.
semesters are only 14 weeks long, right? I mean, you actually only have to be, even if they do require you to go to class, which of course isn't happening in COVID times, but even if they do require you to go to class, it's two 14-week semesters per year. That's 34 weeks out of 52. Yeah, you have to show up for your finals, but you know, that's like 3 exams during a 8-day exam period. And so, and at least be open to possibilities that you weren't thinking about, right? At least consider applying to a school that's 2 hours away. You're not obligated to do anything once you applied. Apply, see what happens. Maybe they make you some crazy offer. Maybe it turns out to be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think she's crazy to go to law school at 34?
Oh, no, not at 34. I think it's getting up there, and I would really just question your desire to go to law school. But since you're a legal administrator, I'm assuming that you are seeing the kind of work that you're going to get involved with. So I'm a little more confident in your decision than someone else who might be in like marketing and has decided at age 34 to go to law school. But regardless, you got to make sure you like what those lawyers do at your firm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're any crazier than everyone else who's like, it is crazy to go to law school in many, many cases. It's just like, what are you even getting yourself into? It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But because you work in, yeah, because you're already working in a firm, you know what you're getting yourself into. So name a lawyer whose career you're trying to replicate, you know, who you're like, yep, this lawyer, they went to DePaul. I'm going to go to DePaul because I want to do exactly what that lawyer does. If you can do that, then I don't think it's crazy.
Yep.
If you can't, I think you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Like, people are just, in many, many cases, people are just buying a dream, right? They have no idea what lawyers do. They're going to just go to law school. Name a lawyer, excuse me, name a lawyer whose career you're trying to replicate. And they're like, well, Barack Obama is a lawyer. Ha ha ha. You know, and it's like, yeah, okay. You're not doing that. let's be let's be real about what you're actually going to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then the age thing, who cares? I mean, law is a thing that you can easily practice law until you're 90,
Yep. You don't
right?
need.
There's no heavy lifting involved. There's long hours involved. There's making your work the primary focus of your life involved. But if you're willing to do those things, then age, I don't know, just seems kind of irrelevant.